Well, folks, we've come to a good episode about friendships. So far that I have started this journey, I have created a lot of new friendships. Well, okay, maybe not new friendships so far, but what I have done is strengthened the relationships that I have now. And to all of my friends, I just want to say thank you for being you. Thank you for being amazing human beings. This makes everything so much easier when you have amazing people backing you. You know, they don't have to be going out to parades and all the parties and all that stuff, but just knowing that, hey, they listen to my story, they understand it, even if it sounds crazy, they're not outwardly judging me. You know, they may go home and be like, what the fuck did he just say? You know, it could be something like that, but they're respectful enough not to be rude in front of me. And for that, friends, I thank you so, so very much. Welcome to the show. Ha ha, you made it back. Thank you. Thank you for being here. So if you don't know what's going on, this is the Bye Friend podcast because everybody needs a bye friend, even if you think you don't. They got that unique perspective. I guarantee it. All right, so like I said, this episode is about friendships and how they have helped me thus far in my journey. And so far, it's been fun, but I'm not going to lie, it's been very nerve wracking. You know, talking to people, getting their reactions. And so far, everyone that I have talked to, all reactions were good. No one was, like just mean spirited about anything. You know, it was a strength builder on my part because when I really go out into the world and, this is publicized, there's going to be monsters out there. So I need to be ready to deflect their bullshit. Seriously. I'm just trying to go through life and figure out what in the hell is going on. And there are true monsters out in the world. So I get it why people don't want to talk about, anything like sexuality or anything along those lines. I get it. But guess what? Something in me said, hey, it's time to talk about this, Charles. Get on out there and say a few words out loud. Now, my family members, I haven't really talked to many of them. I have talked to my mother, and I need to talk to my sister, but I'll talk about that shortly. My mother has been an amazing person in my corner after I had talked to her years ago. I sat down and I think I talked to her over the phone. I didn't really get to see expressions or anything from her, but you could hear the positivity in her voice. She said, I just want you to be happy with whoever you're going to be with. And that has always stuck with me. Always brings a tear to my eye. Because I was worried that was you just don't know how a parent's going to take something like that. But again, I'm still me, and she has been a strong support throughout this whole process. Thank you, Mom. I love you. There was one time I talked to a friend of mine recently, and I said, "Hey, I want to talk to you about something." nothing too wild. And she looked at me and she said, "Oh my God, are you dying?" And I instantly started laughing because I heard how I, presented this to her. And I was like, oh, wow, it does sound like I am possibly dying. But I'm not. I'm making some changes. I'm hitting that like weird Pokemon evolution. Gotta catch 'em all. Uh, yeah, I'm getting old. I know my Pokemon. Not the new ones. They're getting out of control now. But I digress. Back to the friends catching all the friends. Uh, everybody was good. Everybody was positive. I'd tell somebody, they'd be like, "Oh my gosh, that's great. That's awesome. Thank you for telling me." Now I've built a better reputation with these people, and they understand me even better. But here's the thing. I have 3 to 4 more people that I would like to have a personal sit down conversation with. Two of them are some of my longest standing friends. I'm not going to lie. This friend in particular, I'm actually worried about talking to. I've known this friend for many of my years on earth, and I think this is the one person who I have really like put on the back burner talking to. Hopefully by the end of these 22 weeks, I will have talked to that friend and, see how life goes from there. Another friend who has helped me through a lot. I don't see them too often, but I want to sit down and talk with them. Another person I know is my sister. I talk to her, somewhat regularly, but, just, being bisexual doesn't come up in conversation, for anything. You're like, "Hey, how's the weather? I'm bisexual." I'm not trying to start it out like that. And so, yeah, I think it's 3 or 4 more people. I probably am missing someone, didn't write them down, but we will get there. Leaps and bounds. I have made them. And guess what? The people that I have talked to so far still know and see me as me. I'm the same person. What I do doesn't affect you. So there should be no reason why you hate me, or you don't want to talk to me. They asked a lot of questions. I'm going to do an episode of questions. I think that'll be fun. I might even add on a whole nother episode. It might be 23 episodes. I don't know. This was just the starting framework for this show. 22 episodes. I want to extend it past that. I want to go and just have like an episode of questions. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll switch some stuff around and do that. But I don't want to just stop at 22. That's what I'm saying. I want to keep this going for as many episodes as I can. People had a lot of questions. One of the big questions I've noticed, people know a lot more than they let on. One of the first questions they asked was, "Are you a top or a bottom?" And I said, "What? How do y'all motherfuckers know about all this?" And, I'm a top. Just to answer that question, that was a big question on people's minds. They just wanted to know if I was giving or taking, and I'm the giver. So yeah, surprise. One of the other things they asked me a lot. They asked. I told them that I am bisexual, and I said so that means that I like men and women. Some of them, even after telling them this, people don't believe that a person can like both, or at least a male. That's what I've noticed so far. People don't believe that bisexuality can reside in a male. People are more understanding if it's a female saying she's bisexual. So I tell people, I'm bi, and some of them would go, "Are you gay?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not gay per se, but yes, I'll do some gay stuff, but I'm not gay. Like, I still love women." Listen, the further we get into these episodes, the wilder shit is going to get. So get ready. That's all I'm going to say. And I can tell from the first episode, I was nervous. Charles was scared. But guess what Charles is doing? He's rebuilding Rome, baby. Charles Rome is here. And he's queer. Here we are. But yeah, I'm building this shit. I'm making it mine because it is mine. All right, I'm getting off a track. So some people would say, "Oh, so you're saying you're gay?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not gay." But you can say that, and I can throw in but. It's a wild thing. This is wild. This is wild that I want to get out and talk about this out loud. A struggle that's going on within me. And sometimes I'm not going to be able to explain it. A lot of the times I hear people say gay. And guess what? At this point, I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to try and make you see what I see. It is what it is. I'm doing my thing and you're doing your thing. So if we just leave each other alone, we can go on about our day. At the very beginning, I would get upset and be like, "I'm not gay." And one thing that helped me just let that just fly by was I have a few friends who send me wild, crazy memes, and I appreciate them. And they send wild, crazy, gay stuff. And I like it. I think it is hilarious. They mean no offense. They're just being my friend. And I'm not going to put people's names out there, but my meme lords know who they are. And thank you for the hilarious times. Because, yeah, they'll send me some memes. I'll get on Instagram and just be laughing for 20 minutes. Like, that is a good time. So, yeah, I like that kind of stuff. Send me the memes. You're not going to offend me. Like, think about it. I'm still black, okay? So I got to deal with that too. So I'm not just going to be a black guy. I'm going to be yeah, we're not going to get into it. You can figure out some names that they might try and call me. We ain't doing that here. But I will say this. Those combinations for crazy names that they might say to me are definitely out of this world. And another thing I've noticed is I have that resting bastard face. Women have resting bitch face. So resting bastard face. I have that. So most people aren't just going to be like, meh, 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 meh. So they're going to leave me alone. I'm pretty happy about that. Another defensive mechanism. You know, these people know that I like to say wild stuff. So now that I have people that I can say wild stuff to, friends, we can laugh together. Together. I don't know. I just that together just sounded warm, hearty, and welcoming. Together. No, that was too much. Together. You know, it's got to have a little inflection and then kind of together. You know, you got to kind of bring in a little twang to it to kind of make it feel comfortable. Well, hello there. All right, I'm getting off track. I talked about who I haven't talked to, who I need to talk to. And I figure at some point, at some time or another, someone won't speak to me again. At some point, someone is going to find all this out, look at me differently, and never say another damn word to me again. Great. I did not need you in the first place. I also know that at some point, everyone's going to find out. Everyone's going to hear about this podcast. There's going to be whispers. Hey, Charles is gay. They're not going to say bye. I can guarantee that because nobody believes it. Oh, you're just saying that because you like guys. No. Trust me, I don't just like guys. It's weird. It's wild. But it is what it is. So at some point, all these things are going to happen. And hopefully at that point is when I just don't give a fuck. I want to completely get to that point. I want the hatred to just roll off my back. Because it's there. Even if I took this away, I'm still black. Do you really think that, I'm doing this to, try and get famous or something? No, I'm doing this because somewhere in my head, something is telling me, get this story out here so that you can potentially give someone else strength to be themselves, be happy, stay positive, and let the world know who the fuck they are. I hope that's what this podcast can do for somebody. Because right now, it's doing it for me. Because this is episode 3. I wasn't trying to rhyme. It just worked out. Usually it happens like that all the time. Look at that. But seriously, all jokes aside, hopefully this can help somebody. Because this has been a struggle throughout my entire life. And one of the big questions a lot of people asked me, other than, so you're gay, they would ask me, so when did you know? When did you know you were different and you liked males and females? And I told them, I said, I've known since I was young. I have. It was a struggle growing up. I didn't know. You didn't have anybody. There was no one to talk to. None of that. So I just grew up, lived my life, and it never went away. because it was always there. But you can't. That's hard to explain to some people. People think you're crazy, and that's how you explain it. It's always been there. Like you know, people like a heterosexual relationship. It just happens. They just know what they like. That's the same here. I know what I like. And again, with each episode, we're going to dive deeper and deeper into this shit. So please stay tuned. Something that this has really been doing also, it's made me want to look for a community. It makes me want to go out, find other people in my similar situation and talk with them, hang out with them, play games. I want to meet some more people in my community. It's not going to be hard. I'm just going to have to, take time, go out a little bit more. Maybe get on some what are those things? Some chats, some chat boards. Hey y'all, who likes men and women? Raise your hand. Let's have a conversation. I mean, I wouldn't say it like that. Who likes that gay shit too? Raise your hands. Wave your hands in the air. Like you really don't motherfucking care. Because you shouldn't be. Because for real, fuck these people. Live your life. But I'm going to look into that. I'm going to look into some positive groups. Because some of these groups are hating on each other for no reason. Like I would have to find a bisexual group. Because if I get into a gay group, I'm not gay enough for the gay group. So they don't want me. So I got to figure it out. But then I got to find a bi group that's actually bi. I don't want it to be a gay group because they don't understand my story. Partially. They're like, oh, you like that guy? I'm like, no, I don't like that guy. That's not my style. And I'm trying to keep things vague right now because I have whole episodes on all of this. So when you tune back in, buckle up because it's gonna keep getting spicier. Hope you like it spicy, baby. I am so happy to be doing this. To be moving and grooving through these episodes. And again, it's getting easier, but it's still a little stressful. I'm not going to lie to you. But what I can say is that I have forged some amazing friendships just by talking to people, by letting people know who I am. Our bonds have become stronger. And I just want to say thank you to all my friends. Thank you for letting me get this off my chest. Thank you for just hearing me out. Even if it sounds absolutely bonkers. Thank you for being there for me. This means a lot, way more than you know. Way, way more than you can even imagine. Because I have set up something and now I am going through the motions of completing a task for something that will help me and hopefully somebody else out in the world. That is awesome. And my friends were behind me, helping me stay positive. Damn. Don't you wish you had some friends like that? Good thing I don't have to worry because I got them. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so very much. I think what I'm going to do, I really want to get some questions from people and answer them at the end of the show. Like this would be the time where I'd be like, all right, we got a few questions. Let's see what they are. Haven't gotten any people to respond for questions yet. So I think I'm going to have to step it up and start asking questions and get a list of things that I can just pop in whenever I need. So stay tuned for questions. I think for now, I'm just going to put up, hey, if you have a question, write it down. It'll be anonymous if you want it to be. And I will just answer the question on the show. I think that'll be a fun addition to the show. But for now, I think I'm going to cut out of here and go on with my day. There's a lot to do. There's a lot of day to get out of the way. So thank you, friends, for being here, listening to my story each and every week. I really appreciate that. Thank you for being amazing people and allowing me and listening to the crazy shit in my head. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Don't forget the show is every Friday, so let your friends know about the show. And then you can also find me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I might do a couple more things, but that's where we're going to start. So yeah, I'll see you later, friends. Be safe. And bye.